Hello, Matchume. It's a real pleasure to have you in Bayreuth again. And maybe few people know your full name, and also I think little or just certain things about your professional career. Everybody knows you are the timbila player from from Mozambique, but you're also doing a lot of other things. So it would be really a pleasure to learn more about your professional career.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. I always feel home to be back to university and working with cluster. And my name, my official name from the school or from my IDs, it's Candido Salomão Zango. But my traditional name, it's not artist name, it's just a normal name. It's Matchume Zango. Why is Matchume Zango? Because Matchume was the grandfather of my mother. So this is like kind of, in Africa, we have this kind of culture, heritage names. So then we keep this traditional name. So Matchume comes from the family, and also there's a meaning of Matchume.
Mm-hmm.
When we count in our traditional language, when we say imwe yutimbi litiraro muni mchanu, mchanu ne imwe mchanu ntimbili mchanu ntiraro mchanu ne muni chume. So when you say chume, it means 10.
Mm-hmm.
When you say Matchume, it means many tens.
Okay.
And people, they use also asking why your name, it means Zango. In fact, it's not Zango, it's Nzango.
Mm.
But since the Portuguese, they didn't have Nzango, they took out the N, and then we just stay with Zango.
Mm.
But Zango, it's a family name from the community where I come from in Inyamban.
Mm-hmm.
The area is calling Nzangwini. Mm-hmm. So everyone that is born in that area get the name, get the surname of that area.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm Matchume Zango because my parents are from this area.
Mm.
So that's how my name came out. And as my music background, I growing up playing timbila because my parents they were timbilas players from old generation, from my grandfather generations, and then my father emigrated to Maputo. But even like that, they came with the music in Maputo. So they were not living in the city, but staying on the suburbs. So there was some other families, choppy families around. So then they will come together and play during the afternoon times, after the work time. So that was a kind of a way of interact with them, because I was born in 1998. I was born, so it was not Mozambique was not like well developed at that time. I growing up with no electricity and we had a kind of base environment that we could deal with it, and culture was one of our education program, So since our parents, they were doing music and dancing, so we had a chance to learn. So we didn't have like people to teach us. It was kind of a way of living, and we could learn just like that. So then I myself, before playing, I was dancing, because all the kids used to dance before starting to play, and then somehow I was involving on music. Yeah, so I used to dance and then play. But at the age of 17, I decided to stop dancing, and then I just keep myself on music and learning, not just the choppy music, that's what I belong, the choppy music, but I was also interested on learning other different music from other places in Mozambique. Mozambique is quite big, and so I had a friend from north of Mozambique, friend from the centro of Mozambique. So we used to come together and then play, singing, and there's also in Maputo the Shangana people. So all this language also, they were like a part of a way of coming together and then speaking. Portuguese was not something that we really spoke at home. We had a more choppy, and then Shangana. That was the most popular language that in the suburbs people, people were speaking. And then Portuguese was just for the school. So since there was so many mixing of different ethnies, we had access also to learn other language from North by singing, you know. So I will say that I was so like from that generation to have those kind of access, you know. And that time there was not so much digital things like internet. We didn't have phones, you know. It was everything's on the way. Basic, as I said, it was very basic way to deal with it. But somehow we are so happy with that, you know, because it's like when you're born with little things, you have to deal with it, and then from there you learn, you're developing your mind. And today I can see the difference of the new generations that are born now, and then from us that we're born like from 1980s, maybe also for your generation from that time.
That's another story.
Each generation is changing, you know. Yeah, so it's the same like me. Yeah.
But then, okay, but you're a professional timbila player.
Yeah.
Maybe you can say a little bit more about timbila, because if I remember well, you also did once a documentary on your master, and this is very much linked also to the Shopi culture. Maybe you can say a little bit more about that.
Yes, I can explain a little bit about who are the Chopi people. In fact, the Chopi people, it's mixing of different ethnies from South Africa, from Zimbabwe, from Malawi. You know, it's like they call the Nguni people. People against the system of the imperials. So they had run away from those systems, and they immigrate to Inyamban, because by the sea, because they could have the sea and fishing and then agriculture, and they have also them way of living with the traditional rituals. So why this name Chopi came, it's because since they were staying by the sea, the Shangana people wanted to have that land. So the Chopi, they had to defend themselves to not lose the land, you know, because the fightings from that time was the land. So then they had the kind of arco with I don't know in English.
Yeah, how do you call this again? The
fleshing,
and the
yeah.
French is,
to defending them for the fighting. So by the time they were like manipulating the flesh, this went like straight, and then the Shanganas will be like, oh, those people are the choppy people, you know, they chop. So the name stays like that, you know.
Okay.
But and then the chop music used to be kind of music that they use, the Timbila's music, for ceremonies, and also was kind of political intervention music. If they don't like what happens on the village, if the chief of the village is doing some mistakes, and so they will use the music to express what's not right. And then also the composers, there were like different composers with different style, you know. So each composers maybe from different village will talk about what happens on his village, and then they will come together and play and singing. And some, of course, for people that don't understand the lyrics, they listen to good music and dancing, but inside of this music, the message is very strong, you know. So I myself had access of those masters before, because I knew them. I knew some of them before they came back from South Africa. Because what happens is that during the Civil War, there was no Timbila music anymore in Mozambique, you know. And when I was born, the Civil War was there already. So I was listening to this music from the tapes. That time was like you could listen from the tape, you know. And most of the Timbila players, they emigrated to South Africa to the platinum mine to work on the mine, gold mine. So most of this music has been here because those masters immigrated to South Africa, and from there, in 1992, the Civil War was declared. So some of them came back. Then people like Venancio, example, and then more other Timbilas came back, and then we went to visit them in the countryside. So they were telling us a lot of stories. How was before Civil War? How they used to live, and then even during the Civil War, how they struggled to come back home to see the families, you know, and so many people died during the Civil War. But the music was still kind of a way of express even this paining of the Civil War. So the message the other composers they were writing in South Africa about negative, the impact that Civil War had in a community, and we had access because there was kind of network between Mozambique with South Africa, and then some other Timbila players they will come to Maputo for performing. So we will see those ones, and then we will try to imitate. And then also having access of not making Timbila, but the way how they fix it, and they will tell us so many stories about that. And since my family also coming from the Chop Timbila's family, so it was easy, even if we are not on that time, or the time was Civil War in the countryside, but in Maputo there was still some Timbila players that came from Inyambane, because immigration looking for the better condition, and one of these family also it's my family, you know, so that's kind of my background for where I was starting to play Timbilas. Yeah.
A long way to come.
Yeah.
But if I think you once also told me that you had also workshops with young people in the neighborhood, building instruments, and then there's not only the Timbila but other instruments. Maybe you could now talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I had this idea of making kind of orchestras amadores in the suburbs, because what happens is that our music or our culture system, like the Ministério da Cultura, I will say like that.
Ministry of Culture.
Yeah. I think it's so difficult for them to organize these kind of music programs for the communities.
To build structures.
Yes, I think it's really difficult. And even on my time, the way how I was learning, it's because I had access. So why I decided to do this program of Orquestas Amadoras, it's because I went to north of Mozambique to Ilha de Moçambique, it's an island. And then I saw young people there selling this kind of artisanal things for the tourists, you know. And for me was a little bit wow, seeing them just wake up and selling this, not learning any music, and then this island is so developed, it's so rich on music. I get that feeling of I should do my contribution. Then when I came to Maputo, I had a kind of meeting with the embassy of Holland that time, because they were doing something in north of Mozambique for Fortaleza. They were like sponsoring some programs for culture there, but didn't work. And then the place where also I was born, the young people are so drinking alcohol. So I see kind of lost generation, like I need to do something. And then there was a kind of calling from the Spain Corporation for whatever it's culture. So then I wrote a project for 3 villages. So to teach like 50 young people how to play, how to make drums, how to fix, how about composition. So then they help us. That time I had the Associação Cultural Wareto, because I was not, I didn't have my music residency that I'm running now. So via Associação Cultural Wareto, I could build these 150 young people in 3 weeks. And yeah, it was so good, because they were all of them involving on a construction, and so motivating and so inspired about the project. And right now they're all growing up, so I can see, of course, not all of them they managed to stay on music, because 150 there are so many. So but I think around 50 they made it. Now there are some are traveling and playing, and sometimes we talk. They ask me about some questions about music or my experience, and we exchange. I help them. I knew that I will not keep 150, but maybe 50. I will have like kind of 50 young people. Yeah.
So training and coaching, actually.
Yes.
The younger.
Yes.
Quite a large group.
Yeah. Some of them they have their own bands, and some are like also video makers now, and photographers, studios, recording. So I'm very happy that the project ended. But that was also the reason why we created this Orquestras Amadoras project.
Yeah, Matchume, you just mentioned also the association. Maybe you can also say a little bit more, because not everybody knows this association.
Yeah. So I and my friends, we create a band. It's called Timbila Muzimba. But since we are just a band, sometimes we struggle to get found, because they said this is just a group, we need association. So then we created the Associação Cultural Wareto. The members of the associations are also the members of the Timbila Muzimba band. And so this is more like a group association, and working with different people with different mindset. Sometimes we don't have the same way of thinking or ideas, and somehow it was a little bit difficult. I mean, I've been working with the association for many years.
For quite some time.
Yes, yeah, we did a lot of things together, and then I'm still working with the band, but I decided to create a music residency. The space it exists in Matola. The idea why it's because my experience of traveling in the world, I've been on many different residencies here in Germany, in France, in Norway, in United States, everywhere that I was going. Then it inspired me, like, it's nice to have music residency. Then you can invite your friends to come, and it's so difficult to not have the space with the conditional, because then sometimes you don't get well. No, I'm not talking about well paid, but maybe the money that you get is not so much, and if you have to spend with hotels and transportations, renting studios, it gets to the artists after they don't have money. So our place, we call it Zango Artist Residency. It was founded in 2006. That's the time I bought the land. And it's also very fun stories that I built it by myself, not because someone helped me with the money to make this place, because it's difficult to go to sponsor and then say, I want to build music residency. I don't think they will understand what that means. So the only way I could build that place is to travel and play, and then save the money, and then giving the money to the guys in Maputo to make the space vibrating, and creating new ideas, studios. I know after the space was there, and then I created a website and explain what's going to happen. Then it has been attract different sponsoring, like from Switzerland, and I remember in Music in Africa, the God Institute, and now we work a lot with Fundação Carlos Gulbenkian in Portugal, because when you have the physical space and then also see the routines of what you do, the people takes you serious. And that was my idea. I said, okay, I will invest. Late, I'm sure people will understand that we are just want to do our contribution about culture in Mozambique. And we are independent organization, and and we are also connected with different residencies in Africa. So sometimes we have this kind of meetings where all the independent residencies meeting in one place and everyone sharing his experience. And for me, I'm so glad that we have that place, because when artists get maybe found, they contact us and then we help them for the production. And they don't spend like a lot with the accommodations, with the studios, and then we have all the tools there, like for recording music and filming. Right now we are also expanding the space to have a place for dance.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, that people can, because we just had the music and and the videos and kind of painting, but we didn't have a big space for dance. And also, if people they don't want to do like some high life recordings, that is not just a studio like recording in multiplista, but that can all the band play. And also to open space for the community. So the new space will be also for the community, because since we are not in the city, we are outside of the city. So communities can see the movements, what's going on there, but they don't have access, because it's not like a place for the concert. It's just a creative place or vibrating space. And now we're going to have the new space for the community. They can come and learn how to play, or the kids from the area can come for the workshops. We will have like a little bar. We will see what's coming. And, but the idea is also to open for the community, to access community to come and then develop culture in that place. Yeah. So we're still thinking if this will be like a foundation, or we keep the same name of Zango Artist Residency. We are like,
okay,
yeah, because sometimes it's
open for new formats.
Yes, yeah, we try to get more people involving that can give some ideas what to do. Yeah, because since the Zango Artist is there and it's operating very well, but now we would like to standing to involve more community. Yeah.
I mean, I had a chance to visit your space, which was really impressive. I mean, beautiful space, and also gives offering a lot of possibilities for artists and other people. But besides your work as a musician and engaging in teaching and bringing people together, I know that you also studied in Cape Town.
Yeah.
I think this is not, I mean, nobody really talks about that, but I think this was also a very important step.
Yeah, I mean, my coming together with the university in Cape Town, it started because we were doing a tour in South Africa, and this tour was sponsored by Prolivecha. It's a Swiss agency that is working in Johannesburg. So it was some artists from Swiss, and then some from South Africa, and then some artists from Mozambique. Then we came together, we created projects in Mozambique, and then we went to IFA in Zimbabwe, we played. Then we played also in Maputo, and then in the end we went to Cape Town to play in Cape Town. I think it was Jazz Fest or something like that. But then they also have these social programs where we have to do a lecture in universities, and then they're offering us to go to universities, and at the University of Cape Town, they have a College of Music, and they have African Music Department. So then, since I'm a timbila player, I went there for doing a lecture at it was lecture not for like as a class, but they have a day, all the classes coming together for the African music. So the director, he just saw me there. I didn't know him, he didn't know me. And then he really liked the way how I was um, doing the lecture. And then he said, oh, we need to talk. Then they took my emails. After 3 months, they asked me to go for residency, not just to be there as that day that I was there for long period. And then they have this African music program. So I was there for 3 months. Then I was teaching and building concerts with the students. And after the residency was finished, I came back home. And then I think it was like holiday for the students. They had to make a break for the second semester. So when the students came, most of them, they didn't know what was going on, you know. They said, where is Matchume? And say, oh, but Matchume is not coming back. And so they're like, no, but now what we're going to do, because we've been working with him and we like him so much. And then the universities offering me the postgraduate first said, okay, you come here as a student for like 2 years, and then you keep teaching, and then we also sharing our what can we help you, you know. So I had to do some exams, and then after the postgraduate, I said, okay, it was done for me. They said, no, now we want you to do a master. So I ended up staying there 5 years in the university, but we had a great time, you know. We really took up the African music to another level, because from my experience, I think African music is still something that is not like when you go to the universities. I know there's so much theoric programs, but I was taking more like practical programs to UCT, and also some of the students, they have really beautiful knowledge of them traditional. So I was using this material and building them to show a new way of making them art. So with my experience, and they're still asking me to go back and do like doctoramento. Yes,
well,
but
that's a good invitation.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm still playing a lot, and it needs more time and
that
more.
needs some time.
Yes, yeah. So, but I'm not talking a lot about my mastering, because I said it's okay. It was something that found me on my way, on my road, and it was something that I was not expected to have it. So, but I appreciate that I have this degree, and if one day I'm tired of traveling and touring, maybe I can lock a door of one university. Look, I have this diploma. Can you open the door?
And also to teach some lessons at University of Bayreuth.
Yeah, something like that would be perfect. And since now I moved with my family to Germany, who knows? Maybe one day we come together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be a good moment now to talk sorry, to talk as well a little bit about. I mean, you're being here. You have been here several times, and concerts, of course, and always fantastic concerts in Bayreuth. But you have also been involved in giving workshops at local schools.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to learn a bit more about your experience teaching at schools.
Yes, I mean, most of the workshops that we did here, it was with local students, and then some refugees, students coming from Syria, I think, it was Syria, and my experience was always good with them, because when it comes to the music, it's kind of a universe it's like a box of everyone. And I think music helps young kids to cool them down, you know, because each kid has different background from the families, and since they see one instrument and movement, something that you teach, it makes them more appreciating themselves, and this is what we need in our time, you know, because there's so much going on. We don't know. I think we lost the hope in a different place, even if those kids are like a victim of war, but they have a heart, they have a feeling, they have a dreams. So when we bring this kind of workshops, or when we're there with them and dancing, singing, you can see like the big smiling in the face. And I think when they go home, they ask the parents like, wow, or the parents asking them, what was your day? And this could be something new for the family to talk about a different experience, because maybe I imagine those kids when they wake up like, oh, do you know what happens at home in Syria? Or do you know what happens at home in Ukraine? And if they come to the classes like what we've been doing and those workshops, it's changing the mood, and they can talk about different things about Africa also, like, oh, we had a Matchume from Africa with these Timbilas and his Mbiras and the Shitende. So it helps to heal these difficulties that we are in the right now in the moment. Yeah. So that's the impact I see more when we go and I mean, I'm not just talking about the Syrians and then the Ukrainians kids, no, but even the German kids also, they enjoy a lot, and we try to make it as one, not as a separating individual. No, we make it as one, and we some nice questions coming out from the kids, and a lot of good moments that we're spending together. So that's my experience with the kids. Yeah. And I also love to teach kids, because more you teach kids, it's like you find yourself how to adapt for this energy. Yeah. I think it's a dream of all of us to become kids again, but it's too late.
Well, it's too late, okay.
Yeah.
But what I saw also, because sometimes I could accompany you to the workshops, because usually they don't speak Portuguese. Sometimes you don't even need the language, because it's just about, it's not just, but repeating things and learning by doing. But at the same time, I think some of them were also fascinated that finally they could use English, something that they learned at school and they didn't really know why.
Yeah.
And now suddenly this could really serve, like really on purpose. No? You can use it in your daily life.
Yeah, I think that's how I growing up. It's because I had all this access of people around me with different knowledge. And more knowledge you get, you're growing up even on the set mind. It's not the same as being in your phone or TV, because then you are like controlled by machine. But then when it's more physical, there's a different energy. Some kids are a little bit difficult, but that's human being. But somehow, yeah, because you're right, some they didn't even speak my language. I didn't even speak them language. But somehow with the music, with the ambience, the environment that we have been, it's changing all of us. After 5 minutes, like we know each other from 5 years.
That's nice. Maybe we can just, coming to an end, but talk a little bit about the concert that brought you also here, besides others. But there were two concerts, and the last one was now in July 25, bringing together you and another musician from Mozambique, another one from Madagascar, and the fourth from South Korea. Maybe you can just talk a little bit about that experience, the encounter of different music worlds.
I think this kind of reunion of artists is something that are growing up on this kind of environment, collaborating, learning. And it's not just music, we talk about, before we play, each one can talk about what his song's talking about. And you find out that all of us, we have the same problems, like political problems, political intervention problems, and in Mozambique right now, things are not going well. So in my mindset, my compositions, they are talking about other different things. And then my friend Chang from South Korea, also political problems, you know. So then it's like we are making music, but the mindset is the same, you know. And it's so so beautiful to see that no one is up than
There are no hierarchies.
Yeah. We're all in the same mindset, but coming from different culture. And when we make the music, you can feel that how much we engage ourselves on those compositions that we are making, since we understand what's going on. And we always say we wish music could bring, it's the only things that can connect people, because it doesn't mean that if you're not speaking choppy, or I don't speak the South Korea, or I don't speak the English or German, music is more like healing ourselves. So those kind of reunion, they are so important in our day, because it's like bringing us together for one reason. And there's a problems also of the climate change. So those songs that we're doing, this kind of music we're doing, we can also talk about those subjects. You know, so maybe we are not on the studio, sitting outside. So I will talk about my situations in Mozambique. The next person will talk about his situation in Madagascar, the poverty. So it's not just music, you know. There's a kind of informations that we're giving to each other that maybe I don't know from South Korea, or he doesn't know from Mozambique, and it's like, wow, these things happens in Mozambique, and wow, these things happen in Korea and Madagascar. So it looks like music program, but behind there's so much, because we are human beings. Yeah, so I really appreciate that kind of meetings on my point of view. And these people also, I know, they are very interested people, that they know what they are talking about. People like Tao, Childo, and Chang, it's people that I know them very well. So when we come together, we know, guys, this is the only moment to make us happy. You know, so let's get happy and enjoying our time, and inspired other people. Like when we came to play at Opera's House, we had a different setup. And then now when we play at Afro Caribbean Festival, you know, people were reacting, and some people were like, why you don't have dancers? I say, yeah, but we are playing for you to dance, you know. So that's beautiful to get this feedback. And I want to say thank you for the classes to make these programs happening, you know. And since there's studies about Africa, for us it's a good chance to come and expose ourselves, you know, that people know that we exist in it. Because now artists, everything's on the commercial. If you're not commercial artist, you're nothing. And we are not commercial, and we will never reach to that point, because the kind of music we do, it's more heritage music and or art, you know. Yeah, so those kind of accessing and bringing people together, it's very important. Even if we're not here, but maybe the new generations, but those people are already doing, so let's continue the legacy. So it's good for both of us, you know, for the clusters, for musicians that come from different places and coming together. Yeah.
And the students and the schools.
Sorry?
And the students and the schools.
And the students. We need to, yeah, that's true, yeah. The students also, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Matchume. Especially you talked about the happiness that you found in working together with the other musicians, also with the kids. But I think you also brought a lot of happiness to the public and to the kids. So thank you very much for coming back all the time and sharing your knowledge, your music, and the happiness. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me here. Warre toi.
Ouais, toi. Thank you.